Welcome back, guys. So today we are back with again volatility 201s. So you've seen that previously price has been selling until we reached a level of support which we broke. So we had a strong level of support over here. So price found a big support, and then afterwards we're starting to push up. So see that this was some bit of resistance. Price broke throughout. If you had your capital after this break of the resistance, would have entered more positions for buys. But for me, I usually want to see the area that led to the, because this is just a minor structure. So I want to see price come to this area of resistance and break it. Then I know that price is telling me that it wants to do what? It wants to sell. But currently I don't see much. I don't actually see anything for sales right now on volatility 101s index. So what does that mean? If price comes above underneath this same zone the third time, okay, you see this zone over here, we said that this was a level of support, but price broke through it to make a new lower low. Okay, so once price comes underneath that zone, okay, you can take your entries for sales. Simple as that. And I think this is the entry which I took. I showed you guys this whole entry that price had made a double top over here. We had a double top. Okay, so this was a double top over here. Okay, so once price goes underneath this zone, that is another added confirmation. But for me, once I have a double top and price is underneath a level of resistance, I know that the sellers are into the market and they're willing to push it lower. But for extra confirmation, you guys can enter when price changes character on the lot time frame, like the M15. So if you go to the M15, okay, you see that price is making higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so you wait for simple price to make a new higher low. For instance, this over here, we have price making what? A higher low, and then afterwards we have another higher low. So if you wait for price to break any of these higher lows, you can have a safer entry. In fact, that's what they call a sniper entry. But for me, since I have a bigger account, I'm practicing on a big account, I can simply just enter there for sales and then put the stop loss just above, and then I hold it till we reach the next level of support. But as I've shown you guys, if you have a small account, you want to grow a small account and you want to have pinpoint entries, then you should simply just wait for price to make a higher high. You have to wait for price to shift structure on the M15 and then you enter your trades. Okay, because with that you have a pinpoint entry. By pinpoint, I mean that there are higher chances that price will continue selling from the point where you entered than it actually looking for consolidations. Okay, so if you want a pinpoint entry, you just go to the low time frame, as I've told you, M15, M5. You look for structures, and there's on M5. On M5, you can wait for price to take out this. You see, on M5 you already have an area here. Okay, so as price takes out that area, you're good to go. That's the previous high low on the M5. So if price takes it out, you're good to go for sales. But for me, I don't usually even trade. I don't wait for the M5 to give me confirmation, because I've told you already that we're underneath a level of support. Once price is underneath a level of resistance or support, above whatever the case may be, but in this case it's underneath a level of resistance, that means that sellers have now kicked into the market. Remember, it was buying aggressively previously, but now we're making a double top. What does that mean? It means that price is now starting to gain momentum for sales, bearish momentum. Okay, so given that information, you can sell and hold price. For instance, if you go here to trades, you see that I made over close to 20k from this setup. If you go to history of today, no, last week, if you go to this pair V100 on X, okay, you see that I made over 8k from that trade yesterday. I was selling and it sold. It was a very nice simple trade, but So you guys may ask me, but Kevin, what if it didn't work out? Where would you have put your stop loss? As I've told you guys, my stop loss is always above the area where I have the level of resistance. Okay, so here would have been my stop loss. Okay, here was my stop loss. Okay, this above, anything above here, because we have seen that anything underneath here, sellers were in control. So if price went above this area, that means that buyers would be in control. Okay, so that's where my stop loss would be. And why did I enter early, not when price reached above? Because I've seen that price, whenever it went underneath this level, there was high chances that it could continue that same bearish momentum. As simple as that.